Hello friends, this is Cara-Renee with B.Reborn Art and Healing, coming to you with a voiceover of our first video making ephemera for the It's a Fairy Tale Christmas mini journal. So I did create one piece off camera, but we'll be working through 3 other little projects here on video. But I did want to show you this little tag. So I got these little chocolate bars from my boss for Christmas, and I just fell in love with the tag. So don't you know, us junk journalers, we love that. So it opens up and it's got 4 different parts to it, as you're going to see here in a moment, if I can keep it in my hands. And isn't that just amazing? So I'm going to be using that in this journal because it's so small and nice, but not today, on another video. So today we're going to be doing a hidden journaling spot, the double envelope flip that I did in the Winter Wonderland journal, and a hidden paper clip or a paper clip. So I'm just talking here about how I'm going to be creating some ephemera off camera because there's just too much to do in the few videos that I plan on doing for this project. So I'm going to be doing some off camera, but I will show you what I've created in the next video. And these are the fabrics that I chose. There's this bright pink, that little teal polka dot, and then kind of a variegated looking teal. And I'm going to be using this instaInk box. I've used those before. This measures, I think it was just over 3.5 by 5.5-ish, and then the spine is 2 inches. These instaInk boxes are perfect for journals because it's really durable cardboard. So really awesome. So here are the signatures. I already did pull the papers, which I will show you in another video, not today, but we've got 3 signatures in this project, and I just love this kit. It is from Teal and Tattered, and it's called Fairy Tale Christmas. And as I mentioned before, I don't choose kits or purchase kits that don't speak to me, that don't resonate with me in some way. This resonates with me in the childlikeness, just the kind of the juvenile feel, not juvenile in a bad way, but juvenile in that dreamy, fun, magical way. And that has a part in my healing story as well. So it's very meaningful to me. I love the little houses and all the dessert stuff. It's just so fun. So I will also be using some bits from the Shabby Pink Christmas kit from My Porch Prints, just to kind of complement this kit. I believe that pocket here on this piece is from My Porch Prints. And then some of the little cards and things that I put in pockets are also from My Porch Prints. So what we have here is what was this? I put it aside. I apologize, guys. It is what did I do with it? And I've been out shopping today, so I don't even have my memory to help me out here. It's an envelope. It's an envelope flip, just a regular envelope flip with a slit in the side for a tuck spot. And then I just embellished that a little bit. That little cute snowman is from My Porch Prints. The first card here is from the Fairy Tale Christmas kit, and then this one is from My Porch Prints. So just a cute little project. I did take that metal heart and I stitched with the teal thread and then just glued it on. I will be doing stitching around some of these pieces, and I will be doing stitching in the signatures with teal thread. I thought would be really fun. We're going to be making this little paper clip here, which we're going to just go ahead and do first because it's just basically attaching a paper clip and putting that ribbon through it. So even though it was a very simple thing to do, my fingers just did not do the fiddly thing very well. So I did struggle and kind of get a little off camera here, but I hope you don't mind too much. This Tim Holtz paper clip is really small, so I had quite a little bit of trouble with that, but it is fun. And you do want to gauge the size of paper clip you're using based on what you intend to have it hold. Because this is a mini journal, I'm not too concerned about it holding something really heavy or thick. So I just went with the Tim Holtz paper clip here just because it's really low profile. and then I just pulled the paper clip off because I was pulling too hard. I was doing this early this morning, right? Like it's my first day off for winter break from school/work. So I was ready to go. Like I was ready to just create this morning, and because I wanted to run a bunch of errands today, which I did get everything done today for Christmas for the food and everything other than the rolls. So I'm feeling pretty accomplished. So the first project here is we're going to be doing a secret journaling spot or hidden journaling spot. I've done these on my channel before, so if you want to see another version of it, you can definitely check out. I believe it's in the description of the video, hidden paper clips, or not hidden paper clips, hidden journaling spot or secret journaling spot. So what you do with this is you want to determine how big you want your hidden journaling spot to be. In your journal. I made mine just slightly smaller than the actual page of the journal. You want to cut one piece that is your front, and then you're going to cut another piece the same size for the back. And this can be a free-floating hidden journaling spot, or it can be glued down to the page. I wanted to leave that option, so I picked paper that I had printed on both sides. The third piece that you need is to cut another piece just slightly smaller than the base piece. Mine was, I didn't intend it to be that narrow, but I had some white border on the back side of the printable for that page, so I did have to trim it off. So next I made a pencil mark where I want to cut off a bit off the top. I think it was about 1/2 of an inch if I remember correctly. And we're just going to go ahead and cut that off. And you will see why in a minute. It is magical. Absolutely fantastic. I don't remember where I learned this, so you should be able to find that in one of the other videos though. So I apologize for that. I'm kind of running out of time for doing that kind of stuff. I will try to remember to link it if I can figure out where I saw it. So, and then that we're going to go ahead and glue that piece that we cut off the top. We're going to glue it on the top of the internal piece. Now this is the piece that is smaller than the base piece. And you want to make sure when you're doing this that you're looking at the direction of it so that you don't end up taking that piece that you cut off and putting it upside down on the hidden journaling spot bit here at the top. So you just want to be careful of that. So that's what I'm kind of gesturing about there. So I'm going to go ahead and apply glue between those pencil marks. I'm just using my Barely Arts glue. And I'm going to turn it over very quickly so that I can adjust and make sure that it's nice and straight and even. So we just you want it to be even with the same amount of space on either side of that bit. So, and then that's how it's going to be put in and out of that little pocket. So this one I can put glue on the whole piece because it's going to glue to that other piece on the back side of the journaling spot. And this is designed so that you can write on the front and the back of this piece here. You could definitely choose something more neutral if you wanted to, but I just love it. It looks like cotton candy to me, so I really love it. So I went ahead and I did ink. I apologize, I forgot to mention, I did ink around everything that I'm doing in the video before I turned the camera on just to save time. So now we're going to go ahead and glue the front piece onto the back piece. And again, these were the same size in the beginning. So you just want to kind of keep that straight. I got a little bit confused when I did this the very first time. Sometimes it's hard for me to grasp all the pieces. So just gluing that on. And if you wanted that journaling spot to be noticeable, you could ink that top edge where we cut that other piece off. But if you want it to stay hidden, don't ink it. So you're going to see here that it's not inked. It looks like the paper is whole, and that's why it's called a secret journaling spot. So here I'm going to make a pencil mark on the side of each of these bits because I'm going to stitch around, and I want to make sure that my stitching on that removable journaling spot matches up with the stitch line for the other for the base. So I did step away and sewed that. That went kind of fast. I apologize for that. And then there you go. Beautiful. We're going to do a little bit of an embellishing on the bottom left-hand corner of the piece. So there you can see it's seamless, and then you can see the stitching. I just did a straight stitch because I didn't want to affect the size of that pocket by doing a zigzag or anything like that. So now I'm just going to go ahead and apply all my little bits for my cluster. You know how I like my clusters, so I did find this really bright pink in my stash, so I pulled out that lace, and I'm going to be using it throughout the journal as well. And then this is that 3M masking paper. I love to use it for clusters because it just inks up so nice, and I really love it. It's actually kind of transparent too when it gets wet, so that's kind of cool. A little piece of that white lace that you've probably seen me use before. This is a sentiment from the red Christmas words from my porch prints. It says sleigh rides. And so there again, that can be glued to the page, or it can be a floating kind of journaling spot. Totally up to you. So our second project is going to be that envelope double flip. So if you watched my Winter Wonderland series, I did one of these obviously larger than this. This is made for the mini journal, but it's the same project, so I will go through it again with you today. So I did cut my own envelope using my We Are Memory Keepers envelope punch board, and I cut it just with it from a paper in the kit. And then the inside is really, really dark. I don't know what I was thinking when I printed a really dark paper on the back of this kit when I first got it, but I did. So we're going to cut where you see me pointing there. We're going to cut up that line. I already made that line going vertically. And then the line on the bottom is because I need to cut off the bottom because it's too wide. And I like to have my tags and things stick out a little bit. And in order for it to fit in the journal, I did need to trim it down a little bit. So what we're doing here is we're going to go ahead and cut along that pencil line right straight up the center of the envelope all the way to the flap. So we're only going to go to the crease of the of the flap, which at this point I was like, how am I going to see that? So I did go ahead and ink that so that it's a little bit more visible. I didn't know how well it was going to show, being that that paper's so dark, but it was perfect. So, and I'm using that other vertical line there, or horizontal, you know what I mean, the up and down line, or the side to side line, to make sure that my envelope is straight as I do this. And I ran into this problem when I did the prototype too, and that's because of that overlap there, and the cutter just didn't want to go through so many layers of paper. This kit is printed on 60-pound paper, so it is rather thick. But I just grabbed my scissors and did that, and then just cutting off the bottom as well. I think I'm going to go ahead and glue it. I think I decided to glue it first and then cut it off. So we just want to glue that flap up to that one so that it's at least more whole. I could have done that when I made the envelope, but I just didn't think of it, so not a big deal. It's just kind of hard to keep track of everything that you're trying to do. At least it's hard for me to keep track. So I'm just going to stick my ruler in and make sure I don't have any glue that's going to get in the way there. And then we're going to go ahead and cut those bottoms off. And again, that's just because I want my journal, my tags to stick out the side of this. So this way it's going to fit really nicely in the journal. And those tags and any way that I decorate is going to be really cute. So now we're going to go ahead and glue that down to the base on each side. Trying to be really minimal with the glue because you don't want these pockets are already really small. I don't even think they are. Let me see if my ruler's right here while I'm talking. See if I can figure out how wide each of those halves were. Halves, oh my goodness. They are 2 inches, so not very wide at all. And so now we're going to go ahead and cover those two pieces, now that they've been cut, they're two separate, they're standalone flips there. And so we're going to cover them with some paper, and both of these pieces are from the My Porch Prints Shabby Pink Christmas Ephemera. I'm not going to link every kit because I have all of the Shabby Pink Christmas, and I don't recall which one this is from, but you could definitely just take a look at My Porch Prints on Etsy and just search Shabby Pink Christmas and you'll be able to find them. So again, just putting glue all around all four edges because I need to make sure that I retain that pocket. So you don't want to put any glue in the middle where my thumb was just touching. So I did notice that my cutting was a little bit off here, and that pink piece of paper wasn't quite big enough for the space. But I don't worry about that stuff. It's just a small little error, and it's not going to like make or break the project. It still looks adorable, and unless you've got somebody critiquing your work, it doesn't matter. So I'm going to do the same on the other side, and I was just using my ruler to make sure that there was no glue getting down where I didn't want it to be and affecting the pocket. So we're going to put the other side on. There we go. And that one fit a little bit better. I'm not sure what the deal was with my measure, or well, I don't measure. That's probably what the deal was. Generally don't measure. I have a really hard time reading a ruler. I can read basic measurements, but I have a really hard time beyond that. So probably something I should learn. It's probably not that hard, but it's just not been something that I've retained over time. So, and they're just inking that up. And I was talking here in real time about how ink can fix a lot of things when there's an error. So it's really nice. I like to ink everything. You could totally have inked this with a pink ink or a teal ink or any other variety of choices, totally up to you. And so that flap is going to either go on the base of the inside front cover, or it will be wrapped on a page. So we'll see when we get to that point. So here I'm going to do some decorating on the front of this, and I realized here that I was preparing that and planning for it when it was whole. So I continued with that thought process, and I just glue it. I glue it all the way across. And I like to lay my lace or whatever it is that I'm gluing kind of to the side, because then I can see what my glue barrier should be, how far I need to go. So, and then once this is glued and set, we can cut that middle again. So, and I'm trying to get that pretty straight so that I only have to trim off one end. So that worked out just fine. I like to use a paper towel to kind of push down that glue and that lace, and then my fingers don't get quite as sticky handling all of that. So I'm going to go ahead and trim off that edge. This is a really pale pink lace. I don't know if you can tell that on camera. It's really pale. And then just slicing that open again. And then I realized as I was planning on I cut circles out of pieces of the paper, and then I realized one of them was supposed to go there, and so I decided to go ahead and glue them all on, and I'll just cut again to separate those two pieces again, and it worked out just fine. There's always a workaround as long as we don't panic and get frustrated. I was kind of laughing at myself. I laugh at myself a lot, though. Like, you guys, if you saw me in my studio, you'd be cracking up. There's a lot I don't say on the video. There's a lot I say before and after. So I kind of, I give myself a hard time a little bit, but then I'm like, you know what? I'm learning to just not care about it. So, and just trying to take myself a little less seriously. So just inking those edges again now that we've cut it. And then we're going to just do a little bit of embellishing. I meant to put those brads in through the circles and then glue it on, and I just completely spaced it. So, but I ended up using them here. You're going to see that I'm going to attach a little bit of gingham ribbon that is a teal color, and I'm going to use those brads kind of as to attach that. It's not lace, it's ribbon, excuse me. This ribbon right here. So I'm just going to use my Fabri-Tac and put a little bit of glue on the front and the back. Yeah, this was a little tricky because I'm not very patient, so I tried to poke the brad through while this was wet. It worked okay, but it was definitely, it could have been a lot simpler than I made it. So, and I just really I wanted those colors to intermix. I want pops of the teal and I want pops of the pink. And so I'm going to be going back and forth between those two, probably layering them at times, just to provide that, that visual interest and kind of funness. So I'm not sure where I went. Oh, I was looking for a pokey tool. I was looking for my small hole punch. I had the really teeny tiny one, but I couldn't find it. So it wasn't in my drawer where it belongs. So I'm not sure what I did with it, but I'm just going to use my pokey tool here. And then I just have that little piece of not sponge. It's like I don't know what it's called, foam. And just use that so I don't pierce my desk. On the Winter Wonderland journal, I actually made marks in my desk because my awl went through the styrofoam or whatever that foam is, and it went onto my desk. So I've got little holes, which is frustrating. And then there on the back side of that, where I opened those I opened the little metal bits on the back. They look terrible, so I'll probably put a little circle or something over it to just disguise that a little bit. Not a big deal. You'll never know what happened. And I will just mention here that this is going to be a giveaway as well. I am going to limit this one to folks in the United States, just because I've got packages piling up here to Canada, and I need to get past that before I open it back up to Canada. It's more complicated to send to Canada, so this is just going to be something just for the United States. So sorry, friends. There's going to be many more, I promise you. I didn't get out to the post office today to get my Canada packages mailed yet. I'm going to probably do that tomorrow. So it's on my list. So I'm just finishing up with the second brad here. So if you want to be in the drawing, you just need to be a subscriber. You need to give a thumbs up on the video, leave a meaningful comment, and and be in the United States, and we'll be good. I'm not sure when I'll be drawing for that because I don't know how many videos I will be doing. It will probably be after Christmas, might be Christmas Eve. I don't know. We'll see how things go, but I'm going to be filming all week because I'm off on winter break, so I have tons of time to create. And because I got all my errands run, I can do that. I can do that for the rest of the week. I'm doing all the cooking on Friday for family coming, but I've got Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday with really nothing much on the agenda. So got a couple of little journaling bits. These are from my Porch Prints, the Shabby Pink Christmas Ephemera. I'm just going to go ahead and stick those in those pockets. Just like so. I am hoping to have the grandkids over with their mamas and do some cookies because I'm going to do cookies anyway, so I may as well have them here to enjoy it. We make cookies every year, and for some reason that just didn't get in the schedule. There's just some dynamics in our family that are a little bit different than usual, so hopefully we can make that happen this week. So I'm going to just go ahead and build a cluster here on that lower left-hand corner of the bottom pocket. Just my normal pieces, got a little bit of music page, a little bit of that 3M masking paper. Everything is inked, and then a piece from the kit, and then a piece of lace, and then the sentiment. And the sentiment on that is Wonderland. So yay! This kit is so much fun, you guys. It just tickles me. If you saw my studio tour, you would see the most recent one that I just did. I've got all kinds of childlike things in my studio because it's, again, part of my healing journey and reclaiming some things from my childhood. And so that's why this kit really spoke to me. So I saw it just kind of by accident while I was just on Etsy, and I was like, I have to have it. So we're going to go ahead, and I didn't pull any words to put on the inside or on the other side of the pockets, but I did go ahead and choose two. One says Be Merry and the other one says All is Bright. So I'm just going to put a little piece of pink lace, that really wide, what do you call that? It's like a really wide hole. Oh, I can't think of what that's called. Lace, and I'm just going to put a little bit under each of those sentiments and call that one Good and Done. I did put the Barely Arts, and then I realized I wanted to put the lace, so I will come and put some fabric tack to attach that word here in a moment. The lace isn't quite as long as the word, but I wasn't going to fret about it, so I just went ahead and used it anyway. Then I'm not wasting, and it's not a little bitty piece that's going to go in the bottom of a really big bucket that I have. So kind of use what you have right now, like while it's on your desk, because it can get lost and forgotten pretty easily. My studio is very organized, but I still lose track of those little bits really easily. So, and then just finishing up the bottom one here that says All is Bright, and that one is done. Super fun project. Love it. So the last thing we're going to do is this paper clip, and it's a paper clip. It's kind of a hidden paper clip, not a hidden paper clip. It's a paper clip with a pocket, a side pocket. So I'm going to show you kind of what I was thinking here. So I like hidden paper clips that you either can't see or they look pretty on both sides. So what I did is I played around with wrapping a little piece of paper around the short side of the paper clip. And I just did the prototype was just a piece of white paper. As you can see, I cannot figure out for the life of me how to get it off that paper clip. And the reason why I realized is because it's not glued, closed, and so it's getting caught on the other side of the paper clip. So I do just kind of toss that aside because I'm just going to show you how to do it anyway, but I thought that would help my memory to be able to have it there. So this is what it's going to look like. It's just kind of the prototype again. Is the paper clip is going to get glued under a piece of paper on the inside of this pocket. And the little snowman is my little journaling card. So, and I forgot to ink that, so let me do that really quickly. This kit, I print most of my kits full size and then at 50%. Some of these I did shrink them down even more, so I couldn't tell you the exact size that I used, but there you can see by the size of my hand how small those papers are. So we're going to go ahead and attach the, what am I doing here? Not sure why I'm putting it on there. Interesting. Not sure why I was doing that. That strip that I have in my hands there is what I'm going to wrap around that that short side. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, opening up the paper clip just a little bit so I can get that in between, and then I'm just going to fold it and give it a good crease so that when I release it off the paper clip, I'll know it's in the exact shape that I want it to be. You can wrap these several times and make them bulky, or you can keep it simple like I did here, and I just wrapped it the one time and then I just cut the rest of it off. So now we can take it off the paper clip and I can glue it shut in that place right there, the flap. Goodness, I've lost my words. I'm exhausted from errands, I have to tell you. I don't normally go out in public like that, especially for hours on end. So yeah, not my thing. So just using my pokey tool to make sure that I don't have any glue in there that's going to impede me putting that back on the paper clip. Inking it up really quick. I do most of my shopping online, the true confessions. I do not like to be out. I mentioned that in a previous video. I don't like to be out where people are just racing around and people are impatient and they're not very kind, and it just brings out not the best in people. So I prefer not to be a part of that if I can help it. So again, I'm going to slide that paper, that sheath kind of over the short side of the paper clip. And even though we're going to still see some of the metal, we're not going to see, it's decorative. It looks better in my opinion. And then it's going to go like so with the long side on the inside, and then we're going to glue a piece of paper over that on the inside, just so that our journaling card doesn't catch on anything on the inside of this this little what is now looks like a booklet. So I start with the Barely Arts glue, and when I go to put my paper down, it is not strong enough because that paper clip is fairly thick and bulky. So I do come back in with some Fabri-Tac and use that instead. So just cutting that piece down because we don't need it to be huge. And oh, I did learn this over on Julie at Camellia Crafts. So go check her out. She's the one that did the video on this recently, and I was like, I have got to try that because I love paper clips of any kind, and this was just a epic idea. So, and I love her so much. She makes me laugh. So just gluing that on. I'm just going to give it a second to set there because we don't want to mess too much with the paper clip and have it move. I think I do end up moving it down a little bit after I'm going to put some yarn or a ribbon. I can't remember. I think it's just it's a little piece of ribbon, kind of a soft ribbon. So I'm going to go ahead and use that to feed through the top of that paper clip just to make it a little bit more decorative. And then because I used the Fabri-Tac, I still got a little bit of time to move that, and I do end up pushing that paper clip down so that you can hardly see it. In fact, I mean, you can see the metal. I'm looking at it now. You can see the metal a little bit, but it's, for the most part, it's very, very disguised, which you'll be able to see in the close-up photos at the end of the video or over on my blog. And then just, I'm holding that paper clip still as well as I was pulling that, because again, the risk is that it could move it more or pull it completely out, which that would be bad. So just making sure that's nice and set. And then we're going to go ahead and glue the top and the bottom to make our pocket. And again, I'm using just a very, very thin bead of glue because I don't want that pocket to be any smaller than I have to, because it's already teeny tiny, right? I cannot wait to do these with a larger piece of paper and a bigger journal. I'm so excited about it. There we go. And then that journaling card, I'm not going to put it in right now because everything's still wet, but I am going to embellish the front of this paper clip with a little bit of lace and a little piece of that. It's like a really pale bluish teal it's kind of a yarnet ribbon, I guess, how you describe it. So I'm just going to put that lace there just a little bit of decoration. And we are almost done, guys. So thank you so much for being here again. Thank you for following. Thank you for liking and subscribing and commenting and talking with me. And I just love it. It just makes my heart so happy, and it just fills my bucket. We talk about that a lot at school, about the things that we do with each other, and when we are kind to each other and we compliment each other and we participate, that we are actually filling each other's buckets. So you guys are filling my buckets every time you make a comment or you just like the video or you try it. Like, I just love that. So thank you guys so much. I just appreciate it more than I can say. So I'm not sure exactly how these videos are going to be spaced out or how many more there will be. I guess you'll see when I see. So anyway, I hope that you enjoy. And I thought I was nearly done here as I'm getting to the trying to be. I can't see when I'm in the editing software. I can't see where the actual end of the video is, and because I filmed this like 6 hours or 7 hours ago, I've already forgotten like what was at the end. So I think here I'm just probably talking at this point about being a part of the drawing and those things that I've already mentioned. So just putting a small little word on there, really teeny tiny. It says joy and peace. Just putting that on the house. So again, guys, thank you so much, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye. Or okay, not bye-bye. Oh, goodness. Shall I sing a song? Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer? Wish you a Merry Christmas? I feel completely silly. I should be looking at the time that's running on the editing, the top part, and the total project length, and that would give me a better indicator. I wasn't paying attention, so here's me just gibbering and jabbering away as usual. So just going to slide that journaling card right into that pocket. And just making sure that I've got as much of that space as possible still available for that journal card. So there we go. Thank you guys. I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.